The movie opens with young Joey climbing out of her window to get away from her parents' verbal abuse toward her brother, Michael. Even as a child, Joey is unafraid of heights. 20 years later, Joey is abruptly woken by her ringing phone and realizes she's overslept for her job as a window cleaner at some big corporation called Agnian Energy. As she is rushing to get ready, she receives a call from her brother's care home, asking her to come in regarding an urgent matter. Upon arriving at the care home, Joey is informed that Michael has hacked their accounts and leaked incriminating information to the local press. As a result, they are evicting him immediately. Joey is appalled and argues that they can't just kick her brother out when she has already paid for his stay at the care home. However, the manager remains firm, insisting there's nothing that can be done. Frustrated and overwhelmed, Joey has no choice but to take Michael with her to work. They board a bus, and after finding out her bike has run out of fuel, as they near the company, Michael suddenly remembers he left his charger on the bus and insists they go back for it. Joey tries to reassure him that she'll buy him a new one, but he grows increasingly agitated, his trauma surfacing as he struggles with a lack of control. To calm him down, Joey hugs him. When they reach the company lobby, Joey asks Michael to wait there and introduces him to Ron, a security guard, assuring him that he will keep him company until her shift ends at 6. Michael, however, is restless and refuses to wait that long, offering to work alongside her instead. Joey gently tells him that her bosses are difficult and that it's best for him to stay in the lobby, especially since there's a gala tonight and the upper floors will be crowded. Reluctantly, Michael agrees. Before she leaves, he asks if he can stay at her place permanently, but Joey dodges the question, saying they'll talk about it later. Joey steps into the elevator just as Agnian Energy's CEO, Jeffrey, and his brother Gerald enter with their assistant Jennifer. Jennifer briefs them on the final arrangements for the shareholder gala, where they will announce the company's new venture. Moments later, Helena, one of the cleaners, joins them. Gerald sneers at her and mockingly warns her not to go into labor, adding that she should be at home. Joey immediately defends her friend, pointing out that Helena would be home if Gerald had given her proper maternity leave. Gerald shoots Joey a sharp look before exiting the elevator. Helena thanks Joey for standing up for her, and they part ways. Joey rushes to the security room, where her direct superior Derek is waiting, clearly displeased about her being an hour late. He loudly comments that he can't blame the army for expelling her. Joey, unfazed, brushes him off, saying she needs to get to work because her boss is a pain in the ass. As a petty punishment, Derek assigns her to clean bird droppings on the 51st floor windows. Knowing it's meant as revenge, Joey sighs but gets to work. While cleaning, she's joined by her friend and fellow cleaner, Noah. He knows about Joey's complicated family history, and she confides in him about Michael getting kicked out of the care home once again for exposing their fraudulent practices. Concerned, Noah asks if her brother is okay. Joey assures him that Michael is fine and mentions that he's downstairs with Ron. But in the lobby, Michael grows restless, and Ron briefly leaves to deal with guests parking in a restricted area, and Michael seizes the opportunity to slip away. Meanwhile, Gerald makes a call to his assistant, instructing her to take care of the window cleaner who disrespected him. Jennifer assures him she will contact Joey's supervisor. Jeffrey and Gerald prepare for a TV interview where Jeffrey proudly boasts that Agnian Energy is leading the market by generating and distributing sustainable energy for a cleaner future. On the outside, Joey and Noah continue cleaning the windows. Noah muses about how small they are in the grand scheme of things and how fleeting life is. Just then, Noah hears Derek from his earpiece instructing him to tell Joey to put on her earpiece. When she does, Derek scolds her for angering Gerald. Unbothered, Joey simply replies that Gerald was being a dick. Derek tells her to stop chit-chatting and get back to work. As Noah finishes his shift, he tells Joey to take care of her brother before saying goodbye. Inside, the workers prepare the hall with drinks and flowers for the gala. As night falls, and while Joey is still working, she's startled by Michael's sudden appearance. Annoyed, she tells him to go back downstairs and promises to be done in a couple of minutes. However, Michael, feeling frustrated and out of control, snaps at her, accusing her of always trying to control him. He then storms off angrily. Joey informs Derek that she has completed her work, but he tells her she still has an hour left. She argues that she needs to leave and get her brother, but Derek refuses, telling her to wait. Meanwhile, the The gala kicks off without a hitch. Jeffrey is informed that the performers will be arriving soon, and the last time anyone saw Gerald, he was heading into a room with a woman. Moments later, a black SUV pulls up, and several masked men step out. Joey, finishing her work, asks Derek to activate the lift. He dismisses her concerns, saying he'll do it in 5 minutes. The masked men enter the gala. Jennifer reprimands the scheduled performers for arriving late and informing them to be ready after Jeffrey finishes his speech. On stage, Jeffrey warmly greets the audience, cracking jokes to engage the shareholders. Meanwhile, more masked figures storm the security room, shooting Derek and the other employees. Joey, terrified that he is going to leave her out there, apologizes to Derek and frantically asks him to pull her up, unaware of the mayhem taking place inside. A woman named Z takes control of the security system. As Jeffrey continues speaking about Agnian Energy's commitment to sustainability, one of the masked men starts clapping sarcastically. He then mocks Jeffrey for failing to uphold a single word of his speech. The man then signals to the woman, and she throws a bottle towards him, which he swiftly throws at a wall, triggering a gas that begins spreading throughout the room. It turns out the drink bottles were merely a ruse. The mysterious gas is leaking from them. As the gas fills the air, guests begin collapsing one by one. The attackers equip themselves with oxygen masks. Joey, still outside the building, notices the strange gas flooding inside, while Michael, realizing the danger, runs for safety. The attackers get into work sorting the regular guests from Agnian Board of Directors, then providing oxygen masks to them. Z tells her boss the fairy dust code word for anesthesia gas will wear off in 4 hours and that all exits are secured. It turns out the masked figures, calling themselves the Earth Revolutionaries, are in fact eco-terrorists. Joey struggles to climb back up using her rope, but the task proves difficult. Meanwhile, the leader of the group, Marcus, interrogates Jeffrey about Gerald's whereabouts. After getting an answer, he sends one of his men to retrieve him. The man finds Gerald and hands him an oxygen mask. Gerald then spots Joey hanging outside the window and subtly gestures for him to not reveal her position. To Joey's shock, the man removes his mask. It's Noah. Noah swiftly escorts Gerald out of the room. Desperate, Joey signals for help, but no one can hear her. She attempts to jumpstart the lift but fails. With no other option, she lowers a rope, searching for an open window. Back in the gala hall, Noah shoves Gerald roughly forward. Marcus introduces himself and warns everyone not to try anything foolish. Jeffrey demands that Marcus should let them go, insisting this isn't the first time someone has tried to steal from them. Meanwhile, Joey makes her way towards the main party hall window. Inside, Noah suddenly headbutts Jeffrey, telling him he doesn't want his dirty money. Marcus then plays a video showing Agnian Energy illegally dumping gallons of waste into water sources and destroying forests. He explains that Agnian Energy has been dumping toxic waste into Laguna Taracoa, devastating the entire ecosystem. He also reveals the story of Elena, a former member of their group who sabotaged the Agnians Taracoa pipeline last year. She was arrested and planned to use her trial to expose Agnian Energy's unethical practices. However, before she could testify, she was brutally stabbed in her cell and the trial never happened. The board of directors downplayed the entire incident. Jeffrey scoffs, arguing that Marcus has no solid proof of Agnian Energy's wrongdoing. Marcus disagrees. He doesn't need direct proof. The confessions of the board members will be enough. Still, Jeffrey tries to negotiate a deal, but before he can continue, Noah suddenly forces a bottle into Jeffrey's mouth, choking him to death. Joey manages to climb back up and into the lift. Marcus, tired with Noah's antics, warns him that this wasn't part of the plan and orders him to stop killing people. Meanwhile, Joey spots a can of flammable spray paint. Thinking fast, she sprays SOS on the window and sets it on fire to attract attention, and it works. Marcus notices a bomb with attached wires. He confronts Noah about it, but Noah dismisses it as an extra precaution. Before Marcus can argue further, Z informs him about the SOS signal outside the building. Marcus deduces that it must be the window cleaner and orders Noah to take care of the matter. He then instructs Z to contact the police and inform them that they have hostages, forcing them to stand down. As the men are distracted, Gerald, seizing an opportunity, makes a run for it. Marcus orders his team to not shoot and calmly orders Noah to catch Gerald, assuring him that the cleaner isn't going anywhere. Noah instructs Z to pull Joey up using the lift. However, Joey quickly jams a screwdriver into the mechanism, preventing it from moving. Meanwhile, Gerald is caught by Marcus and his men. Noah arrives but refuses to obey Marcus any longer. Marcus urges Noah to put his weapon down, but Noah suddenly shoots him instead. Now in control, Noah questions Z on the earpiece whether she's with him or against him. After a moment, she tells him she will be on his side. Noah then instructs her to connect him to the gala room's monitor. Appearing on the screen, Noah addresses the group, announcing that he is now in charge. He warns that anyone still loyal to Marcus will be taken down. Noah tells Marcus that he lost faith in humanity a long time ago, and that this is simply a time for reckoning. Without hesitation, he pushes Marcus out the window, sending him plummeting onto the lift below. Noah then shoots Jeffrey in the leg, and they take him down. Z informs Noah that a helicopter has been hovering outside. Joey spots a gun belonging to Jeffrey and tries to grab it, but the lift suddenly descends and dangles precariously on the edge. Despite the danger, she manages to take it. She is startled when her brother appears, but he quickly hides when he spots Noah emerging from the elevator. Noah, filled with regret, tells Joey that she shouldn't be here, but she replies telling him how Derek can be. When she asks why he kills people, he replies that it's nothing personal. He then brings her brother into the conversation, asking if he's still around. She lies, saying Michael has left, but Noah isn't convinced. He orders his men to search for Michael and a photo will be sent to them shortly by Z. Noah then sneers at Joey, accusing her of letting her brother grow up in a care home, treating him like an embarrassment. He taunts her, saying that the one time she chose to be there for him, she dragged him into this mess. Joey, unfazed, warns Noah to get his hands off her brother, or she will end him. In the meantime, the board of directors starts confessing to their crimes. Dennis, the energy minister, confesses that she accepted a bribe a year ago to halt the investigation into Agnian energy. While all of that was happening, Z informs Noah that they still need time to get confessions from everyone, but the police are already swarming the area. Joey tells Noah she thought they were friends. He responds that he did too, reminding her that friends always help each other. Then, he gives her a chilling ultimatum: ditch the silencer and empty the entire clip down the street, or Helena will die. With no choice, Joey fires into the street without hitting anyone, creating chaos. The helicopter locks onto Joey as its target. News reports announce that Agnian Tower is under siege. Z is satisfied, knowing the media and police are now focused on Joey. To further throw them off, Noah instructs Z to transfer $32 million from the Milton brothers' account into Joey's account. Meanwhile, Superintendent Claire Hughes is briefed by Inspector Khan about the high-profile hostages inside the building, including the energy minister. No demands have been made yet. Khan informs her that the shooter has been identified as Joanna Locke, a window cleaner with a troubling past. She was a former SRR member who passed Marine selection but quit after assaulting a squad mate. She also has a history of instability and takes medication. Claire orders more background checks, including her social media and financial records. A law enforcement officer named Royce arrives, and Claire tells them they need to establish contact with the shooter. She also notes that if Joey truly wanted to kill people, she would have done so already. She wouldn't have gone through the trouble of writing SOs on the window. Khan reports that $32 million has just been deposited into Joanna Locke's account. Desperate, Joey pleads with the police she is not with them and tries to grab a phone from Marcus. The sergeant orders the officers not to shoot. In the struggle, Joey loses her balance and ends up hanging precariously from the edge. She dials 911 and is connected to Superintendent Claire. Joey tells her she is not with them and to not shoot her. Claire assures her they won't. She introduces herself and Joey tells her that her brother is inside and in danger. Claire promises to call her back. Inspector Khan then shows Claire a footage of Noah. Though his record appears clean, he is not who he claims to be. He is actually Lucas, a known member of the anti-humanist group. There is a video of him explaining his belief that humans are a virus that must be eradicated through radical and invasive means. He has a following among extremists and terrorist groups. Last year, Noah was spotted alongside Marcus, the leader of the Earth Revolution, a radical yet organized extremist group. He has been linked to the sabotage of the Dakar refinery and the Laguna Taracoa facility, owned by Agnian Energy. Khan also adds that this group has a MO, which involves them getting arrested and exposes the dirty truths about the companies. Claire assumes that Elena was targeted for trying to expose them and was ultimately killed. Meanwhile, Noah straps himself with a bomb rigged to detonate if he loses his pulse. Claire calls Noah and asks if he is the one who has control. He confirms that he is, warning her that if his pulse stops, the entire building will explode. When Claire asks him to release the hostages, he scoffs, calling them parasites draining the planet's resources, making it clear that he despises humanity and they are better off dead. Noah then notices 5 officers outside and warns Claire. She, unaware of their presence, quickly orders them to back off, but Noah kills them anyway. Frustrated, Claire yells at Officer Royce, who was responsible for the 5 men's demise. The situation is spiraling out of control. Claire calls Joey, informing her that Noah has rigged himself with a time bomb and they can't get in. Joey is their only option. Joey asks Claire if she should know anything about Noah. Claire responds that he is after confessions and is currently running things from the security area, and informs Joey to be careful of the explosives that is currently coming in her way. Claire then informs Noah that Joanna is dead, but he doesn't believe her. Joey asks Claire to have the snipers put a hole in the window. Once they do, she breaks through the window, all the while talking with Claire on the phone. Joey reveals why she quit the army when asked by Claire. She explains that she was provoked by a man who couldn't handle a woman in the army, and as someone who had an abusive father, she wasn't about to take shit from a stranger. She also voluntarily quit instead of being expelled. She adds that she failed to protect her brother from their abusive parents and is not about to let him down once again. After ending the call, Joey, with Michael's help, is pulled to safety. Joey and Michael embrace, relieved. They quickly escape before being discovered. Meanwhile, Gerald finishes his confession, rounding out the last of them. One of Noah's lackeys later confirms that Joey is still alive. Michael, feeling uneasy, is reassured by Joey, who tells him she needs his help hacking Noah's files. He agrees. Joey and Michael hide in a room. She asks him to stay put while she sneaks out to take a guard by surprise. However, she is ambushed by another enemy. Thinking fast, she and her brother take them down. Z, after ensuring the confessions go live, also releases a video of Noah stating that by the time they see the footage, everyone inside should already be dead. Realizing Noah is completely unhinged, Z attempts to escape, but is gunned down. Joey and Michael take control of the security and begin transferring all the information. She calls Claire, warning her that Noah plans to detonate the entire building. Joey vows to lure him out, but she asks Claire to take care of her brother. After ensuring Michael is safe, Joey retrieves a gun and confronts Noah. A brutal fight ensues. In the end, she manages to snatch the detonation bomb from his wrist and pushes him down. With the threat neutralized, Claire commends Joey and asks for the drive containing the damning information. Joey lies, saying they don't have it. Claire understands and lets it slide. The next day, Michael releases the files online. And with that, the story ends.